Welcome to the Manifesting Doll podcast. I'm Barbara Orban from No Diet Babe. I'm a spiritual mindset coach and weight loss expert. If you are a spiritual babe wanting to up-level your life around your body, health, wellness, spirituality, law of attraction and manifestation, then this is the podcast for you. I'm here to give you the tools, teachings, and strategies to manifest the body and life of your dreams. As spiritual babes, we know to focus on love as opposed to fear. So get ready to learn how to implement spiritual teachings to weight loss, wellness, and your daily life, coming from a place of love and abundance. This is a celebration of how we can shift our inner perception of ourselves and watch our outer selves shift. You can become the best version of yourself, and I'm here to help. So let's get started. Hey babes, welcome to the Manifesting Doll podcast. I'm Barbara Orban from NoDietBabe.com and from @NoDietBabe on Instagram. And welcome to today's episode. Today's episode is going to be a pretty, how can I say this? I guess like vulnerable or personal, or like just really sharing more about my perspective of weight loss and just a bit of my journey, but also just the journey of the business and the journey of why I set out to start this and what my message is actually about. And in a way, it's actually sharing my own struggles with you. And also just really making you understand like why I have had such a long time between podcast episodes because I really thought about it and I'm like, why don't I record as much anymore? And like I want to share this with you, like parts of the reasons why. And parts of why I struggle with being part of, quote unquote, like part of the weight loss industry, and why I want you to understand what your weight loss journey is really about. And I know I go on and on about this, so I feel like you do get what I'm about, but I just want to use this opportunity to add some more of my perspective to this, and also some things that, you know, I've discovered recently about like patriarchal issues and like how that relates to our weight. And like I just want to talk about all of these topics in a little bit more depth. So first of all, like why did I begin this business was because I struggled from age 16 or 15. I was told that I was fat by a family friend, and that when I get home, my mother will put me on a diet, or will have to put me on a diet because I've gained weight. I was overseas at the time, and I was, I had put on weight while I was overseas. And I was not, it's not that I wasn't aware of it, it's that I was a child. Like I was a child, I wasn't thinking about that. And I just then developed an eating disorder as a result of that comment. I basically decided that I wasn't going to eat anymore, that I just had so much shame around my body from that point onwards. And it led to basically like massive eating disorder issues as a teenager, bulimia, like abusing laxatives, you name it. You know, I had these issues. Over exercising, like it was all part of it. But even though I had never gotten to the point where I was like drastically underweight. In fact, all the time I had a healthy weight. And it never got to the point where I was, severely overweight or anything like that. But I still was convinced that there was something wrong with me. Now looking back at, a recent TikTok that I saw, and I actually sent this to some of my clients and just really thought about it myself. These images of stars at the time, like Jessica, what's her name? It was like Jessica Simpson, and how they had plastered these photos of her saying that she's fat. And I looked at her and the photos that I used to look at as a teenager at that age, and I looked at them at that age and I thought she was huge. I was like, oh my God, she has gotten fat. Like, oh my God, she's huge. Like, she looks terrible. And I looked at that same image today, or like now, and I was like, oh my goodness, she looks amazing. Like, why was I so conditioned that that was terrible? Like, that was fat. And all of these photos and images that as a teenager I was told by magazines, which I was obsessed with magazines at that time, I was constantly told that these images, I was fed these messages that that's fat, that's fat, that's fat. And then naturally, of course, I then developed that issue. And even at a healthy weight, I still was convinced that I was fat, that I was really fat. And that's my issue with being a part of the weight loss industry, is that we are conditioned to believe that one weight or a certain type of body is better than another. And that part of being a part of this really bothers me. It really bothers me how much we are conditioned, partly due to, I believe, patriarchy as well, because there is more focus on a woman's body. Women's bodies are more scrutinized than a man's body. I understand that men's bodies are scrutinized as well, but not to the extent that female bodies are. They are not scrutinized to that same extent, especially even from a sexual objectification point of view. Women are far more condemned and criticized for the way they dress and present their bodies than men. So the whole issue of women wanting to lose weight, perhaps to be like quote unquote desirable, is partly due to a bigger societal issue. And so it's hard for me to admit to myself like that I'm part of that sometimes, because that's not why I'm here. But I can see why that I can be interpreted as being part of that. And because I'm saying, hey guys, I can help you lose weight, or I'm a weight loss coach. So it is really hard in that way for me sometimes. But that's not why I started this business. I started this business because throughout my journey of struggling for 10 plus years with food and weight, I healed my issues. And I don't just mean, oh my God, like I lost weight and like that's fantastic. I mean that I got to a point where I am comfortable with my body and I'm not afraid of my body. I'm not like, oh my God, if I gain 10 kilos, like I'm not good enough or whatever. Like I am slim now. I'm naturally slim now. And I know that's a result of me shedding my disordered eating, my dieting mindset and just really connecting to my genuine hunger. I really know deep inside that your body has this innate wisdom, and when you're born as a baby, like you have that wisdom. You have that wisdom, and it's conditioning that teaches us to stray away from that connection to the body. Your body and the physiology and the anatomy of your body, it's not designed to make you gain weight. It's not designed to make you feel bad about your body and feel uncomfortable in your body. Societal conditioning is what says that if you don't look a certain way, you don't deserve to feel comfortable, right? But at the same time, what I'm trying to say is, like, if not all of us have the same body, okay? So I have really narrow hips. I have quite broad shoulders. I'm quite tall for a woman. I've always felt like I'm tall. And I've always had this complex, like with shorter women, when I had this issue because I was like, why are my thighs always bigger than a shorter woman's thighs? Like, even when I'm skinny as, like, my thighs are always bigger. And I always had this problem. And I always want, like, a man that's bigger than me, taller than me. And I want to feel smaller, but it's hard because I'm so tall. I'm so tall and I feel so broad in my shoulders. And I'm like, that's the issue though. Like, I've just, no matter how much I used to like try and change the way my body looks, like even when I'm being skinny and like I have narrow hips, then it's like, oh, but now society likes curves. Now society likes a big butt. Oh, I've been told, oh, you're too skinny, like you're too skinny. And it's like, I'm actually quite happy, like the way I am. I'm actually really happy. My issue then is not that, yes, I want to tell women that don't base your worth on your weight, because society has done that. That's not true. But also what bothers me is now though that we say, okay, Barbara, so here's another example. Like, I'll just like add to this. Okay. So I have had cosmetic procedures done, right? I've got breast implants. And one could say that I chose to have breast implants. The real reason I chose to have breast implants, if I'm going to talk openly about it, like, is because I went on the pill when I had acne in my early to mid 20s. And I had to go on a really high dose of the pill, which made my boobs grow. And I really came to like that. And I got used to that feeling of my boobs being bigger when I was on the pill. I had so much more cleavage. I was like, oh my God, like, I really like the way this makes me feel. I really enjoy it. For health reasons, I chose to stop taking the pill. I chose to instead heal my acne the natural way. I chose that being on the pill was not helping me. I was more depressed. I noticed my sexuality, my ability to feel like sexual was dull, was suppressed. And I chose that I didn't want to be on the pill anymore. And then my boobs were smaller, and I decided that I wanted to have those boobs again without being on the pill. And I decided that. And one could say, well, you've been conditioned to believe that in order to be more attractive or more like confident in your body, you need bigger boobs or whatever. Or like, because your shoulders are broad, you feel the need to have a bigger chest to make you feel more feminine. And that's due to society, and it's coming from a place of not liking your body or whatever. And can you see how that relates to, well, if you're wanting to lose weight, it's the same thing. You're wanting to lose weight because society has pressured you into thinking that it's better to be smaller. Smaller is better, thinner is better, right? And that's the problem. And I agree with that, and I can see that. And that's what I'm saying here, right? But my other issue here is that it's still a problem though. Now you're telling me that I shouldn't want a boob job, or now you're telling me I shouldn't want to lose weight or change or alter my body in any way. What's the trend? The trend is I'm still being told as a woman what to do with my body. And that's my issue. And that's why even though in one way I hate being part of the weight loss industry and I don't want to be associated with it, I am in a lot of ways against it because it's fueled by shame. I also realize that telling women what to do with their bodies is a bigger problem. So if we can understand on the one hand and uncover why you want to lose weight, and then still and assess those ego reasons that stem from a society telling you that you're not enough, and realize that right now you have a right and you are able to feel good, comfortable, confident in your body right now as it is, but you also have a right to do what you want with your body. You have a right to want to get cosmetic procedures. You have a right to want to get Botox. You have a right to want to wear makeup. You have a right to want to dress how you want to dress. You have a right to want to lose weight. Because I'm sick of people, or especially women, being told to do what they should and shouldn't do with their bodies. I'm sick of it. I'm really sick of it. And that's why I always say, yes, it's an issue if you want to lose weight because you think that you're going to be more likely to attract a partner because of that. It is an issue if you want to lose weight to make other people jealous. It is an issue if you want to lose weight to be more confident. It is an issue if you want to lose weight to be more happy. It is a issue if you think that losing weight will be anything other than losing weight. It doesn't make you more worthy. It doesn't make you more confident. It doesn't make you anything. It is just a number on the scale, or the way your body fits in things, the way your body looks. That's all it is. But you also have a right to want to change or alter your body in any way you wish. So therefore, telling me or anyone else okay, so you decided to get breast enlargement, that's because society made you believe that will make you more attractive or whatever. You could say that that's the reason why I got it. And it's okay, whatever. But the point is, whatever reason I have, the point is you're still telling me what I should and shouldn't do with my body. You still are hyper-focusing on what women do with their bodies, as if to say that we all have to conform to one thing because there's a right and wrong for a woman. There's a right and wrong way to do things, and we all have to conform. Guess what that sounds like? Patriarchy. Oh, wow. Okay. So that's the issue. Not so much that somebody wants to lose weight, that we are constantly being told that there's a right and wrong way of what we should want. So that's why, on the one hand, it's yes, I have a problem if you want to lose weight, but you don't want to do the mindset work. I have a problem with that. I do, because I see how damaging that is to people living their whole lives with that dieting mindset. And I hate seeing it, and I hate that culture. And I hate people talking in ways that fuels a poor relationship to food and that fuels a poor relationship to your body. But at the same time, wanting to lose weight is totally in your right as well. And however you want to lose that weight in a way as well is your right. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, like, I don't have a right to tell you what to do, but what I want you to know is that you have a right to feel good about your weight now, and you also have a right to feel good about your weight if you want to lose 20 pounds or however many pounds you want to lose. You have a right to feel good about it either way. And then you've got the dieting industry, which then you've got some crazy toxic people out there saying things like stop eating fatty. I literally saw it the other day, stop eating fatty, right? And these messages where you've got these beautiful body positive women embracing their bodies finally going against society. And I just commend these women so much, because it's so incredibly hard, because they're constantly met with the fat phobia comments and the fat shaming of, and then they do it in such a what's the word I'm looking for? Patronizing way, where they make it about their health. They say, "Oh, but I'm concerned about your health." No, you're not. You are not concerned about a stranger's health. You are not concerned about a stranger's health. What you want to do is fat shame, because you've got your own internal issues that you want to project onto this innocent person who is simply spreading awareness and a message that your ability to feel good in your body and your confidence and your ability to feel comfortable in your body has nothing to do with your weight. And we should not be condemning people or making them feel any form of shame because of their weight, right? So I can understand that. I can say no one has a right to tell that woman she needs to lose weight. No one has a right. That pisses me off. No one has a right to do that. But at the same time, no one has a right to tell that woman that if she wants to lose weight, that she shouldn't want to, because now she is acting for the weight loss industry, or now she's conforming to the other side, right? So it's such a divide. It's like you're either for body positivity or you're against. I've found that the no dieting culture doesn't really want to accept me, because I still talk about weight loss. So I don't feel like I really fit in there. And then I don't feel like I'm where the weight loss industry is. Damn, no way. Ew, don't want to be part of that culture. I just want to be in the middle. I just want to say, hey, I get that you've spent your whole life trying to lose weight, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't want to lose weight, but I'm telling you that this is a byproduct of a bigger issue. And you really should focus on the bigger issue here and probably look at your childhood unhealed trauma and all this other shit that's going on, because you will feel better. And if you really want to lose weight after healing all of that and really prioritizing your relationship to food and your relationship to your body and healing from childhood trauma, you will naturally find that the weight starts coming off when you uncover the reasons why you subconsciously hold on to weight, or you subconsciously avoid your emotions by the dieting obsession and emotional eating, right? That's the reason why I did this, is because I want women to know how much freedom you get when you actually do that work. And I've always said this, that weight loss is just the cherry on top. It's literally like, I wouldn't, even if I never lost any weight, I still would think that this is the best work ever. And I still would be here teaching it, because I get that you get weight loss in the end out of it. I get how that happens from any perspective, whether you want to talk to me about it from a scientific perspective or a spiritual perspective, like with manifestation. Like, I get why the weight is released. I get that. I fully see that. And I know that so many people have trouble comprehending that because they don't see how the subconscious acts in ways to protect them, and the nervous system acts in ways to protect them. But your nervous system and your brain is so clever at forming associations with things. And if you are unconscious to it, then yes, you will unknowingly cause yourself to gain excess weight as a result of self-protection. And it is far better to look at that and really create your reality from that perspective, rather than society tells me I need to lose weight in order to be healthy. Society tells me I need to lose weight in order to be enough. Society, like, no, let's not look at it from that perspective, because that's really hurtful. That's really saying that you're not enough as you are, which is not true, that you're not worthy or deserving as you are, which is not true. But at the same time, I want people to look at their lives through a lens of limitless potential, from a lens that if you have a desire, that desire was put into your heart, and you have a right to manifest that desire. And yes, there are some things that are an issue with that though, because there are some people who will, no matter what their body looks like, whatever weight they get to, they will still look in the mirror and have body dysmorphia. And then, yeah, that's an issue. You have to work on the body dysmorphia. And body dysmorphia is also continually comparing your body to others. Continually saying, well, I'd rather have her body rather than mine. If you are comparing yourself, honey, you will never be happy. No matter what type of, how attractive I would think that I would be able to, a type of body that I could attain, no matter where I've been in my life or where I could potentially get to if I wanted to, in terms of my body fat or whatever you deem attractive, ripped or whatever you want to say, there will always be somebody that my brain could compare to and think, but you look better. I want your body instead. And if I'm allowing my brain to go there, that's the problem. Like, that's the body dysmorphia. That's where I need to go. Love yourself. Love the way your body looks. And not only that, but realize there's more to life than what you look like. There's more to you than the way you look. You're a human being. You're not an object. So yeah, there's more to life than what you weigh. And that's another part of patriarchy that pisses me off in connection to weight, is that women are constantly objectified. And then they internalize that. So many women I talk to, they literally cannot think of anything other than their weight. As if to say, I am just an object and my weight determines the value of this object. There's nothing more to me than my weight. I don't have a personality or a character or skills or anything that deems me worthy. I'm an object. And I think to myself, how is it that little girls grow up thinking that they're an object? Oh, that's right, because we're constantly objectified. Our bodies are constantly scrutinized. If a man is sexualizing a woman, the woman is told to change the way she dresses because otherwise she's asking for it. If a woman is getting unwanted male attention, it's her fault because of the way she presents herself to the world. That she should perhaps dress differently or behave differently. Because again, she's an object. And then we wonder why there's eating disorders everywhere. Because that objectification is then internalized. And then there's also internalized misogyny, where you literally start hating on all other women because of their bodies. I see it now because of body positive culture. Now sometimes if you're not curvy, then you get condemned. Because again, the woman's body is constantly scrutinized and you can't win. And then women are bagging out women. That internalized misogyny of, oh, you're just like a slut, right? So as you can see, like, there's so many deeper issues that have led me to, you know, when I have to bring this up on Instagram, for example, like, it's hard to explain all of this and for the messages to be interpreted in a way, because sometimes if I say something about weight loss or you create your own reality about your weight, that could be misconstrued as me saying, you create your reality, so you should lose weight. Like, you should, like, it should be easy for you to do this, and because you haven't, it's a problem with you. It's a problem with you, and you should feel shame. And you're a bad person. And then I get scared because I'm like, that's the exact message I'm against. But when I say things like, you can lose weight or you can create your reality with losing weight, it can be misconstrued because of the way society has a filter about that it's an assumption that that's what I'm saying. And that's not true. And that's what I'm against. I'm saying, no. You create your own reality around your weight, meaning you don't have to lose weight if you don't want to, or if it's really hard for you to lose weight. I get that your experience of that is not your fault. You've been conditioned a certain way. Of course, that's not your fault. Have compassion for yourself. It's not your fault. And where I want you to start is not, let me change my weight so that I feel better. I want you to learn how to feel comfortable in your body, because you don't feel uncomfortable in your body because you need to lose weight. You feel uncomfortable in your body because society told you that you should feel uncomfortable in your body. Because whenever something happens, we are constantly scrutinized instead of, to say it bluntly, with patriarchy, unfortunately, a lot of the time, I believe that men aren't held accountable and instead women are told to change the way they dress. Women are told to change the way they dress. And a recent example of this was, I saw a high school principal. I know this is kind of getting off topic, but I just want to say where I'm getting at with this stuff is, like, a high school principal in my area, like half an hour from where I live, 40 minutes, that I saw this video that went viral, and this principal was talking about how the teenage girls need to be mindful of the length of their dress because it's distracting male teachers. or the way that the inappropriate ways in which they sit in class or when they're wearing skirts, and how that's distracting male teachers. And it caused such an uproar and fury because, so if you have a pedophile, basically, like the teenage girls, like their children, a teacher that is not held accountable for their inappropriate behavior, instead you've got a society that's telling children that to be critical of themselves, oh, I have to be more self-aware than the boys of my sexuality. I have to harbor more shame around my body than a male because of what? Because society decided that the female body is more sexual than a man who sits with his legs wide open all the time? Oh, is it because but women wear skirts? Oh, okay. So like shorts have never shown us anything. Like we've never been able to see through a man's shorts before. But what I'm trying to get at is when I speak to clients, I can see how these messages from a young age are part of the problem, are part of why they harbor shame, because from a young age, we are taught to be shamed and be self-conscious about our bodies. Constantly, that's the message being sent. And women are unfortunately more of a target when it comes to their bodies. They are. And that's why, like, I just have an issue. I have an issue with all of it. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to help people in it. Of course, that's why I started all of this. And I know I've seen clients transform. I've seen the transformation in myself. But when people fail to see the culture as to why the weight loss industry is so messed up, that hurts me. I feel saddened by it. And it feels like such a big feat for little old me, right? But yeah, so I hope that makes sense. I hope that, this podcast, obviously I've touched on quite a few sensitive topics. I hope that my intention here is not to offend anyone or, trigger anyone in any kind of negative way. I just simply wanted to spread awareness and give my perspective, because it's really, if I don't, I feel like I'm playing small and I'm hiding and I'm not really connecting with you guys about what's going on. And yeah, in some ways I do get afraid to talk about this stuff, but that's what's going on in my life. That's how I'm seeing things at the moment, and I'm understanding the deeper issues around weight and our bodies. And so I wanted to share that with you. So I hope that was helpful for you in some sort of way. I'd love to hear from you. I tend to hang out on Instagram at NoDietBabe, so catch up with me there. And I also have a free weight loss course. If you go to nodietbabe.com/free, you can sign up for my free weight loss course, which does go into the deeper belief systems and the core reasons why you hold on to weight. So rather than signing up for the 12-week challenge where you get told to cut out carbs and exercise 5 days per week and completely ignore the subconscious mind, rather than do that, actually stop and think to yourself, what is this all about? What is all of this about? And why did I even develop an issue with my weight in the first place? And when I say weight issue, I don't mean that you actually have a weight issue. I mean that you feel as though you have a weight issue, right? You feel as though you have a weight issue is the difference. Because when a woman says to me, I want to lose weight to feel confident, I want to lose weight so I can feel comfortable in my clothes, I think that's a weight issue because you think that you have an issue with your weight, right? Yes, you can lose weight, but we got to combat that issue because otherwise, like, how does an anorexic person still think they're fat? Because it's in the mind. You look at a skeleton and they're like, I'm fat. They're convinced they're fat. They're not making it up. That's genuinely how they feel, right? Because it's a disease of the mind, right? A dis-ease in the mind. We have to ease the mind so you feel comfortable in your body. That's in the mind, not by losing weight. Weight loss will happen. You can lose weight. It's okay. I'm not saying that you shouldn't want to do that. But obviously there's more to it. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. And I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I will see you in the next episode. I love you guys. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you loved this episode, I'd love for you to leave me an iTunes review. Don't forget to follow this podcast for more uplifting teachings to come. For more tips, inspiration, and teachings, come follow me on Instagram at NoDietBabe or check out my website, nodietbabe.com. Until I see you next time, babes, lots of love.